Wake up, samurai, and welcome back to Night City. And this is Phantom Liberty, the expansion of a game rushed on release to the point it was filled with bugs, couldn't run on previous gen consoles, and made you wonder if you spent enough on your PC to even run the game on low settings when it first released. But after a whole lot of updates over 2 years and an anime that took the entire world by storm, you're about to be promoted from legendary mercenary to corporate as David V. You'll play a character desperate for a cure to their cyber schizophrenia in the form of Keanu Reeves in their head, except it's slowly killing you after a botched heist with the absolutely worst fixer in town, Dexter, after your brain gets turned into omelette du fromage. But even though you are on a seemingly short timeline, you're an otherwise immortal cyber god with the power to slow down his inevitable demise by simply not visiting Hanako at Embers. And just as you were told to go join the new area of Dogtown in the middle of Pacifica, you get hacked by a hacker who tells you she knows about Keanu, gives you a massive headache, writes Johnny out of the story for the next couple of missions, and wants you to help save the US president after her plane gets shot down by Bald Krauser from the Resident Evil 4 remake. And so, you end up in a super spy government operation which involves fighting a Metal Gear, getting blown up by a mine set up at the front of a door, getting blown up again when you reload,
I am under the water,
a truck with terrible handling, a couple of French people. Damn! Panam has some competition here. Boy, am I glad I swam through sewage to get to this party. But how is nobody noticing the stench? Alongside your new trooms, sleeper agent Idris Elba, Captain I Need a Vacation Alex, and mysterious hacker girl Songbird. They'll share with you how they have had enough of taking orders from the president on the Monday to Friday plane and want to retire. And what do I think of the DLC, you might ask?
It's so deep.
You follow the orders you're given by the corporate and tell yourself you're doing the right thing, or do you find your own path and follow what you believe is the right thing to do? This is the age-old question asked throughout Phantom Liberty, whether it's Keanu telling you off for being a
What's this?
Really, weed. That looked like a bamboo to you.
Kiss my ass.
or our new cast of characters conflicted over each other's silly decisions. And because a lot of you are playing this game because of the Netrunner series to fill the void after Studio Trigger tore your souls to pieces, you can basically run the DLC as David with the Sandevistan and the Gutch shotgun and...
I'm sorry.
Most of your side quests are from Mr. Hands, the Dogtown fixer, which kinda makes you wonder what Mr. Legs would look like. And these side quests can be summed up as Gamer Girl Bathwater. And a lot more moral choices to pile on top of what we already have and had before. You can't forget the Sandevistan.
Shame, really. Would have been a square.
And then Panam drops a spicy photo in the DMs and you're all probably back on Team Panam again. As with the side missions, the main missions of Phantom Liberty follow a similar style to the first mission of the base game with Jackie and the Maelstrom gang, where you're given multiple different choices to solve a problem. Do you want to talk things out? That's completely doable. Go in guns blazing, expect to be met with much more resistance from the enemies. Sneaking in through an open vent like a spy would? Oh, definitely. And paired with a whole lot of cinematic moments sprinkled generously over the top of your Cyberpunk flavored ice cream, there is never a low moment in the game. And without spoiling too much, there's a single new ending to the entire game with different variations of endings for the DLC itself based on your choices. And I think I can sum up my reaction to the new ending in a single meme. Let's just say there's a couple of creative writing choices that didn't quite sit well with me, but it otherwise captures the essence of Cyberpunk like the other endings. But I won't elaborate further and I don't want to spoil the ending for you, so you should go play it yourself, or go watch it on YouTube or something. And the cherry on top is the 2.0 update, which removes stats from clothing, removes slots from all cyberware. But for the Sandevistan enjoyers though, tough luck, because there's no more heatsinks and you'll just have to play the game in real time after 10 seconds like everyone else. And the wide range of Edgerunner's references in this brand new skill tree. The new skill tree is quite restrictive and forces you to invest in skills you don't really want to unlock other skills. At least you can respec your points freely, which took me about 10 hours for me to figure out how to take back my skill points with the middle mouse button. But attributes are another story. You can only ever reset them once per game, which is extremely dumb if you want to try new builds and get locked out of the highest tier for one of the trees. The best part of the entire update still has to be the car chasers, so you realize you can't shoot through the windshield of your $1 million car. I know you can get all the damage repaired automatically and redelivered to you at the press of a button anyway, but it's a surprisingly nice touch. And
In 2077, what makes someone a criminal?
a lot of it, except the car handling and turning radius is still extremely horrible with no mods, which then leads to the cops being called. And that's where you get your ass handed to you by Max Tech if you decide to stay, because they are, by no means, slouches like before. It's still pretty freaking awesome whenever you hear the officer dispatch being sent out instead of them popping into magical existence like they used to. But as far as bugs go though,
The game is fixed.
as you can already tell, the game is not completely bug-free, but the bugs are honestly entertaining when they actually do happen. Unless you're talking about Dogtown. Dogtown more like runs like dog shit because it runs so damn poorly on low to mid-range PCs. On the bright side, nothing a few mods couldn't fix, then a performance patch from CDPR a couple weeks past launch, and so it became fairly playable. I do have to warn you to make sure to play this on an SSD though, otherwise your game is gonna have a very horrible time. And I do have to say, I kind of wish this expansion was in the game at release, but then you remember it would have gone up in rush development flames with the main game on launch. So I'm actually glad they took their time to cook and delivered. And so, the verdict of Phantom Liberty as a standalone DLC is an 8 out of 10, which is a noticeable improvement from the 7.5 out of 10 I would retrospectively give to the main game. If you want to pull off crazy heists and operations like the ones in Netrunner, the main story of the DLC will definitely scratch that itch that you've been having, especially in areas where the main game couldn't. Phantom Liberty's story definitely has that sense of polish that the main game didn't have in a few key moments, and I might even say I enjoy this expansion far more than the main game. All in all though, a decent DLC from CD Projekt Red that was not rushed within a year by the dev team, and I really hope they've learned to take their time with the releases going forward. Totally worth getting it if you do end up replaying the game, because I see it as essential to the main game and should not be missed. If you can get it on discount, that's even better. And so, stay safe, stay humble, and stay breathtaking. This is the Ananite, and we will see you in Night City.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.